First of all, I'd like to thank all the witnesses today and for your patience for joining us to look at H.R. 413, the Public Safety Employer-Employee Cooperation Act, which would enable public safety employees to discuss important work and safety issues with their employers. This legislation would extend to firefighters, police officers, correction officers, and other public safety officers the basic right to collectively bargain with their employers. H.R. 413 is identical to legislation which passed the House in the 110th Congress. In 2007, that legislation passed this committee by a nearly unanimous vote of 41-1 and passed the House as a suspension bill with a vote of 314-97. We should not forget that firefighters and policemen and women risk their lives every day to protect the public. Yet there are some states in this country that deny them the basic right to discuss workplace issues with their employers, a right many other Americans have. At the very least, they should be allowed to negotiate for wages, hours, and safe working conditions. When I was in the state legislature in Michigan, I helped pass legislation that grants all public employees the right to collectively bargain, including policemen, firefighters, and public safety officers. As a matter of fact, the chief sponsor of that bill, I was co-sponsor of that bill, just has been named the chair of the Ways and Means Committee of the U.S. House of Representatives, Senator Levin. So he's still being elevated. In Michigan, this bill has led to a working environment that effectively protects the public and that both employers and employees can be proud of. Cooperation between public and safety employers and employees reduces fatalities, improves public safety services, and saves the taxpayers money. And that's been the experience in Michigan now since 1965 when we passed that. Very good record of experience. While I feel that Michigan is an excellent example of how employer and employee cooperation can benefit everyone, I do not want to impose that same structure on all states. I recognize that states may have different approaches that would be more effective for that particular state. H.R. 413 would merely create a minimum standard that states have the flexibility to implement, regulate, and enforce as they see fit. Many states, such as Michigan, have laws in place that go well beyond 413, and these states would not be affected by this legislation. Additionally, this legislation does not allow strikes or lockouts, and it preserves management rights. Firefighters and police officers are very serious about their commitment to public safety. They deserve the basic right to sit down with their employers and discuss their work conditions. The reasonableness of this legislation is demonstrated by the wide bipartisan support it has from its nearly 200 co-sponsors. I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this important legislation.